about time. All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Saturday that we get to come together and talk about everyday issues that we walk through as, people living abroad in different capacities. And this month is a month of talking about health and a healthy lifestyle and making healthy choices, right? So it's not just one of those things that we do, but it's something that we want to do even when the month is over. Like really learn something and then we apply it all year round. But here is Masterpiece Conversation, and I am your host, Tina Grace, and I will be chatting up with you today. Make sure to share this conversation with someone, tell someone we are live and they can join, because that way we can all help each other to learn something in our journey here abroad. Okay. So today we are talking about health again. We've been doing our 5K, and for those of you who have been walked, right? If you haven't walked, today is a very good day to just restart and think about, how can I walk today? What can I do to be active? But we still have a few days in July for you to walk. So walk, share, and share your pictures with us of how you were walking and what you're doing. Even if you're doing another exercise, that's fine. You can still share. But by all means, make sure that you are walking and you're doing something active this month and beyond. So today I'm joined by a very amazing woman who is going to talk to us a bit about her journey, about things that she's seen as a nurse in the field, and that would help us to start also thinking about, how do we apply some of these little nuggets to our lives? Remember, these conversations are all meant to help us, learn something new, apply something that we did not know, and become better in our journey. Very informative and educative. So share it as you're joining and make sure that someone else is benefiting as well. All right. So help me welcome. If you're on, give her some hearts. But this is Lorenda, and she is joining us today. I believe that we are going to have a great time as she shares and as we all learn together. So make sure to tag someone, tell someone we are live and we have our own senior RN with us, right? To help us in this conversation about healthy choices. All right. So welcome, Linda. Good
Thank
to have
you.
you. Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Drum roll.
I know, drum roll. And for those of you who've been on Masterpiece a bit, so last year when we were in Ghana doing our Christmas giving, one of the main people behind the scenes who gave for our trip to Central Kofi was Lorenda, just so you know. Okay, so we have a lot of people behind the scenes who really pour their heart into what we are doing, and we truly appreciate her and honor her for all her support throughout these years that we've been around. So thank you again. Thank
You're
you.
most welcome.
Well, so this is Lorinda. I know her. She's in Lexington. And if you're in Lexington, you guys, you can just give me a heart or tell me, oh, watching from Lexington or something like that. So Lorinda is here. She's been around for a while, right? And we want to hear from her. So if you're just meeting her today, you want to know, who's Lorinda? So yeah, who's Lorinda? So let's start from there.
Oh, well, Lorinda, I'm I'm here in Lexington, but originally from Ghana.
Yeah.
Um, I lived in Accra before I came here.
Oh,
Um, yeah, I am. I've lived in Lexington for quite a
oh,
while, for quite a while. But
yeah.
um, I have two children.
Mm,
Um, I am an RN now, like I said before, but I wasn't RN when I was in Ghana.
mm.
I was a dressmaker, and then when I got here, I went to nursing school, which is also another topic we're going to discuss later, so,
Another topic.
someday. Yeah, uh,
Yeah.
yeah, and then um, uh, working now in a psych facility in Lexington, one of the biggest facility in central Kentucky. That takes patients around Lexington and beyond. So yes, yeah, I'm Lorenda, and then a Christian as well. So
amazing, amazing. Well, Lorenda, we are happy to have you. Thank you so much for making the time, because I know you were working night yesterday and you still made the time to join us this morning. I don't know how you guys do it, but you are just super women and super men working night shifts. But thank you again. Well, so we are talking about health, and I know you've been part of our Masterpiece event, so you know that we are doing the 5K. We are encouraging people to walk and do all these things. And today I want us to just talk about some of the things that, you know, we can do in our daily work or daily lives that will help us, because you have been here for a while. Now you have even the money to buy everything that you want, right? And if when we get to that point, sometimes we end up thinking, okay, I first couldn't buy some of these, you know, fast foods as much as I wanted, but now I can buy it. I can buy it every day if I want. I can buy it every week if I want. How have you been able to, you know, almost like curb your appetite and then make healthy choices? And today we're talking healthy choices. Made healthy choices all these years and continue to do that. How do you do it?
Okay, thank you for the question. That's a good question. Yes, I can buy all the fast food that I want, but uh, what I always say is, if I go buy them and eat, or eat all these fatty foods and whatnot, um, I'm putting it in my body, and if I put it in my body, I'm not going to be healthy. So I have put it in my mind not to eat, only to eat the good nutritious food, well balanced meal. So even if I want to go and buy, I remind myself to not pollute myself or abuse myself with those foods. So I make healthy choices in what to eat and what not to eat, because at the long run, it's me that is going to get sick or get more, get bigger. So I gain weight, so to say. So
Yeah.
I remind myself to make good choices.
Is it
Yes.
just because you are a nurse and that's why it's easy for you to do? Or is it because you've been, I mean, help me understand, because maybe you are a nurse, so it's easier because you've seen so many people who are sick, different diseases that come into the hospital and all the places you work. Is that what drives you to be mindful of your choices?
Um, One, yes, because I know part of it is yes, because I know what it can do. Like when I looking at when you, for instance, look at your labs, and if your labs are going bad, and for instance, just recently, I went to my primary care doctor, and when we did my labs, I saw that my hemoglobin A1C was at the borderline to being a diabetic. So knowing this, I know that I know how I check diabetics lab. Sugar checks at work and all that, and it's not fun. And giving insulin, it's not something that you want to bring to yourself. So and that also makes me make good choices. And secondly, just being you want to do something good for your body, something good for you. So yes, that also helps me, but not mostly, maybe because I'm a nurse, so I know the consequences of eating not eating well. So
Right.
yes.
So for Lorenda, for those of us who are not nurses, you know, we are not seeing the things that you are seeing. Some of them, they are wild. Like
Right.
there are a lot of things that come to you, but we
Mhm,
don't see it. And
mhm,
sometimes when we even see it on YouTube or something, it's not real because we are not so close to it. So
mhm,
how do we, as non-clinical people,
mhm.
also have a certain conscience about, eating right or doing the right things for ourselves, especially when we tell ourselves, oh, I mean, at this point I can eat all I can eat, right?
Yeah.
And maybe later I'll change, you
Mhm.
know so how can we do the right thing every day, even though it's not something that we are seeing, oh, this friend of ours got, sick or something like that?
Mhm.
How do we change our minds that way to work for us to see it?
Yes. Thank you. So I mean, I know that we know a lot of people, maybe even our family members,
Mm,
sometimes get sick of some. Let's say they get sick of some little issues,
mm,
um, or sometimes even when you are eating, and you're not making good choices, you gain weight, and you get tired, you get like you don't feel well, you can't sleep well. All
mm,
those things contributes to you not making good choices. So you just have to think of how bad you feel, you know just remember that to make good choices. Not, you don't have to be a doctor or a nurse, because I know some nurses, even me, it's a work in progress. So it's not like I have everything clean. I'm also trying,
mm.
um, doing my best, making to make little changes. So you don't have to be a nurse or um, uh, a doctor or a healthcare worker to eat right, but you just look at what you go through to also make choices so that you can live better.
I see. So we
Yes.
don't have to be a doctor. We don't have to be a nurse.
No.
We don't have to be anything clinical. We just
No.
have to know that these are the things that we are doing to our bodies, and this is how we are feeling. So even paying
Right.
attention to ourselves, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
helping us to know that, oh, this, I've gained weight. I can't wear this dress anymore. And I keep buying new ones and saying that when I lose the weight, then I will wear them, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I think the other question I have is some of our cultural or local foods that we have grown up with, right? Last week when we were talking, I know that Annette had mentioned how we can keep what we are eating, but even portion control them, as opposed to how we are used to eating them. So we just eat everything, starchy at once, and then that's all. So those type of things around our culture or our local food, the foods that we knew or we were raised with, that are still a challenge for us to get over. How have you been able to manage it? Like your yams and your yeah.
Yes. Yes. All the cabos.
Yeah.
Anyway, I still eat them. I eat yam, I eat fufu, I eat all the food that we've been eating since our childhood, but I try not to eat it too much.
Mm, mm,
I Let's say jollof rice, for instance. We all like jollof rice. We love to eat them, but um, when you make it, anytime I make jollof rice, I make sure I make salad on the side,
okay.
something to make it a little uh,
It's,
balanced,
mm,
yeah, and healthy. So it's not just bam jollof rice and you are eating it a full plate, you know, but you try to make it a small portion, and also add salad so that it will balance a little bit, and then also, how our soups, um, palm nut soup, and all, how rich it is.
very
If you
rich.
keep eating those things every day, you know. So I try to not. cook it every day, maybe once in a while, and so on. And I also skip my meals sometimes.
Mm.
I
Mm.
skip my meals. They say that, oh, breakfast is the best meal in the day. Says who? You know, they just say that it's not always. You don't have to get up always and eat
Mm.
breakfast, eat sausages, eat whatever, and then as we add bread,
Yeah.
white bread, and all those things. You
Yeah.
know, I try to skip my breakfast. Even nowadays, I don't eat breakfast at all. And morning it doesn't take long for lunch to come here, so it's okay if you skip a breakfast. It's not going to hurt you. Only remember not to go and take all your anger on your lunch. But I try to skip my breakfast, and then maybe eat a light lunch, and then make sure that my dinner, I eat dinner earlier.
Mm.
Yeah,
Mm.
I don't wait till 9 and then I'm eating my fufu, you know,
Yeah.
fufu, a big ayiwa, you know. I I try to eat earlier, and then go to before I go to work or sleep. Yeah.
Amazing. So
Mhm.
I am going to go there because you work the night shifts. So I know that for a lot of people who do the night shifts, it's challenging to be healthy
Right.
because your sleep is impacted, your diet is impacted. You're going to, work in the night, you're hungry, you want to eat and all that. Hello, Reverend Anna. We are excited to have you. Thank you for allowing your wife to be here. You know, so we see that challenge in that group of people who do night shifts. How do you manage that? How do you make sure that even though you are doing night shifts and you have every good reason to one binge eat in the night because you're hungry when you are during your shift, and then when you come back you're not also getting some good sleep as you should, and that makes you eat more and you develop more, health issues from there because the shift is just not a very easy shift to have. How do you manage a night shift and still be healthy?
Good question. Uh, well, I don't remember, like, I don't take food food to work. I
Mm.
don't sit and pack meals and carry it. I don't even have the time to be carrying food because I can't do that. So um I have trained myself not to eat during that time when I'm at work. So
Wow.
if I'm very hungry, um I have a snack in my bag, maybe a plantain chips, and sometimes I take my carrots and stuff like that.
Mm.
Um, but before, when I first started, I used to eat. I used to eat, and then I gained weight. So now that I'm trying to lose some few tissues, um, I have planned. I don't take lunch. oh, That's what they call lunch to work. And also, if I go to work and we are doing a potluck or something like that, I don't go and sit and just eat because there's free food. I tell
Mm.
myself, don't you don't you're not supposed to be going there,
Mm.
so I tell myself, no, don't eat. you know I can drink something a little, but that's about it. Um so it's okay to tell yourself, they are giving free food though, but you have to stay away, or take a little something healthy, and then just keep walking. Yeah, so that's what I do. I don't go and stop by somewhere to buy uh, a full meal, a Big Mac to take with me. And I have decided not to be buying those things, even though I see them. I just drive past them. and then make my own food as well at home.
Make your own food. We'll come to that. Make your own food. But you're talking about moderation, you know, and I think that is important for all of us because when we see free food, I think something happens in our minds and we feel like, look, it's free and we have to eat till we drop, right?
Right.
So we just put all our energies into it and eat and eat and eat, especially for a lot of us that it feels more communal to eat. Like we like the eating together. And when you eat together, you eat more, right? Yeah, because this person is eating here, you're eating here. And by the time you realize you've eaten more than you actually thought you were going to eat. So it's important to just remember that moderation is important and key to us being able to make healthy choices. Like it's okay. That's enough. Yeah.
Right.
I know. It's hard sometimes, and it's good to always have a reminder that be moderate. No, we are not saying don't eat it, but be moderate in what you're eating. Yeah,
Yeah. And
but
also,
yeah,
oh, sorry, if I'm not able to keep uh, my routine, if I eat, if let's say if today I'm not able to, I do those long fasting. Like
Mhm.
if I eat, I break for like 12 hours before I eat. But if I'm not able to do that, I also don't beat myself up. I don't punish myself. I don't say, oh, you are a failure. I just fell off the wagon. I keep it up, and then tomorrow, like the next day, I pick it up and keep going.
Amazing. So even if you're not able to keep up with the schedule, which is normal, like who is able to be consistent all year round? Like we try. It's like you're 80%, 90% consistent, but you're not 100%. So yes, there are some 10% times that you will not make the right choices and
Yeah.
whatever, but that's okay. Just
Yes.
get on again and do the right thing. Like get to the right thing is really the key. Get to the right thing and do the right thing. But you mentioned something about cooking at home. And that is, I mean, that is important. And at the same time, it can be a lot. Like sometimes in the morning, if you want to cook, at home and take it to work, I mean, and you're in a hurry to go, you are likely not to do it, you know. So how do we manage the cooking at home, getting food from home that we've prepared that we know, as opposed to stopping at a Burger King or somewhere else and getting food because you're in a hurry to go, you know? How do we do that?
Okay. I said I cook, but I don't cook every day. So,
Hmm. Yep.
um, yeah, I only cook when I'm at home, not working. And when I make stew, for instance, I make it a little bit more so that I can save some
Mm.
for the next 3 or 4 days. And same as when I make soup. And so when I make it, I leave, like I make it in a box so that I can leave the rest. And so we eat for the next few days that I'm working. And one thing that came into my mind was also, um, I mentioned my hemoglobin A1 being elevated a few months ago. I knew what I was doing. I knew what I did that raised that up.
Mm.
So when my doctor said it, he said, "Oops, you're almost on the borderline to diabetes." I said, "No way." And I got online and I told her the reason why my A1C is up. That I drink this, I drink that, and I don't go exercise because I used to exercise before COVID, right? And
Mm.
then when COVID came, everything just fell apart.
Yep.
So, so I I love to drink cold coffee, iced coffee.
Really?
Yes, and you know how the guy we use that as breakfast, or like it's like Milo or Milo.
Yeah.
Milo, yeah. So I
Right.
I do that, and I eat sugar bread.
Hey.
Ghana bread. I call it Ghana bread.
Ah,
So
Wow.
When my A1C was up, I knew. So I told myself, I confessed to my doctor that I'm not going to buy that anymore. So I stopped buying it and I drink more water. And also I found a way to make my own iced coffee.
Mm.
Yeah, there's some one concentrated coffee online that I bought, and then I just put ice and blend it and put a little bit milk, which the one that you buy has a lot of milk and sugar,
And sugar.
and then don't put sugar or put a little bit of sugar packet.
Mm.
So
Mm.
with that doing, I've saved myself a whole lot of issues.
Wow.
Yeah. So I learned to make my own instead of buy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that is important because, I mean, when you know, then you can take action on it, which brings us to a very important thing that a lot of us avoid or are afraid of is having our yearly checkups, especially when we know that we are not doing the right things, right?
Right. Right.
We know that we have not been, exercising. We know we've not been eating the way we should be eating and all that. But
Mm-hmm.
is that a good reason to avoid our yearly checkups and not go and do it? Or sometimes it's just we are afraid. We're afraid
Yeah.
to do the pap smear. We're afraid to do the mammogram. We don't know what it's going to say. You know, how do we encourage each other to just take these important, like these are important things to do, and we are better off preventing than waiting for a disease to cure it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We are better off in preventing. So with that being said, we have to encourage ourselves to get our yearly checkups. Um, you should, like I said, I went to a hospital and then I checked all those my labs. Um, it's really, really important because if you don't check it, you wouldn't know uh, if something is going wrong because
Yeah.
it starts somewhere. So if you do it yearly and something pops up, the doctor can advise you and then tell you the next step.
Right.
So it is important not to neglect having those yearly checkups, even like flu shots. Some people get pneumonia shots. Some people get like we get mammograms, pap smears, and all those things. It's very important because when you check it and you see something, the earlier they treat it, the better. So
Yeah.
it's really, really, really important because I remember a friend of mine said, "Oh, I have my family has diabetes, and the way she's been eating, she's so afraid to check because she knows what's coming." But I told her to go and check, and if something is going wrong at this time, they can correct it versus sitting down till it's too late
It's too
to
late. Yeah.
help. So the earlier the better. So we need to all encourage each other to get our checkups.
Right.
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
think that is really important. We are hoping to have a fall event here in Lexington that would give us some of these preventative screenings for free. So
Mhm.
let's keep an eye on it for that in this coming fall. But I mean, if you need help to even schedule some time and go see a doctor and all that, just do that. Just take the time. It's almost like investing in yourself, right?
Mhm.
It's
Mhm.
your health and it's your wealth.
Mhm.
That's really what you have, because once
Yeah.
you don't have that, you
Mhm.
can't get up and go to the work that you go to and make the money that you say you're making. So
Right.
your health is truly the wealth that you have. And so
Mhm.
we have to make time for ourselves, and
Mhm.
be able to, balance things out by taking time to go for our checkups. The other thing that I know a lot of us also don't go for is eye appointments and then dental checkup. So I was talking to someone and said, have you been to the dentist for this past whatever, especially with COVID? A lot of us lost track of, preventatives altogether, but things are back to normal to a very large extent, and doctors are taking people back. And now even the eye appointments are booked all the way. It's not easy to get an appointment. But one of the things, and I mean, I want us to just go there a little bit. For us in these times that we are focused on a lot of screen time, you can see a lot of people are getting a lot of issues with their seeing and reading. And we have to make sure that we are going for our yearly, eye exams, checking our eyes, as if it's not important, but it's really important, right?
Very,
Yeah.
very important.
Well, maybe tell us a bit more about how important it is for you to go for the yearly, eye checkups. Yeah.
Yes, it's very important for us to do it, to go for and check for our sights and eye exams and our dental appointments. Um, um, I for your eye appointment, for example, when you are advancing in age, or even some people some people it's in their family. You see that all of them wear glasses.
Mhm.
Um, I used to not wear glasses until I clocked a certain age, and I'm like, oops, I can't see my Bible to read. I have to hold it far away for my kids to laugh at me.
Mhm.
But yeah, as time went on, I needed to do that. So I booked an appointment, and then they gave me glasses, and I'm like, all of a sudden I can see everything to read. you know and if you don't check it up, by the time you go, maybe they cannot reverse it, or they cannot help you. So it's very important. And then when it comes to our teeth needs cleaning all the time.
Yeah.
We have to do it ourselves, and then when that time comes, the dentist can also do their part, because sometimes we get sick. So- Sometimes we get sick. We get some bacteria and whatnot in our teeth, our mouth and teeth, and then when we don't treat them right, they can lead to we having kidney issues, because
Really.
the bacteria and stuff travel all the way if they are not treated right, and
Mhm.
to spoil our vital organs. So it is important that we follow up with our dental appointments.
It's so interesting that you say that, because someone was saying that, oral care doesn't look important, but
Mhm.
it's so connected to all your other care of your body.
They
And
do.
recently, someone was went to the dentist and came back and said that he is losing gum tissue,
Mhm.
right? You don't see it, right? But when you go and then your gum is measured, then you begin to see that, oh, really? I'm losing gum tissue and I have to be doing some more, deeper cleaning of my
Mhm.
teeth to
The
avoid
teeth.
that, because
Right.
very soon you see that you'll be losing your teeth as well. So
Mhm.
I think that is something that we have to really, pay attention to, and not just put it on the side and say, oh, it's not important, or we'll get there. We'll go when we can. Let's do our pap smears, our mammogram, colonoscopy. For a lot of
Colonoscopy.
people,
Yes.
they're afraid. You know,
Yeah. Yes,
they're
I wanted to mention this too. We have different type of ways to check for colon issues. It doesn't have to be colonoscopy.
afraid.
Um, if you ask your doctor, um, they can request for you to do the Cologuard.
The
They will
cold
they,
part.
the Cologuard. They will send you a box, and then they will give you instructions as to how to do it. Um, you do it in your own home privacy, and then
Mhm.
you package it and then send it. But your doctor has to start the
Yes.
request. So yes, if you are scared of the colonoscopy, you can start with the Cologuard, and then on, and then you go.
That
Yes.
is really important. So colonoscopy is for what? What is the timing of that? Because a lot of people just don't think about it. I think 45 for most
Yeah,
people.
45. Yeah, going. But it's different when you have that that in the family. If
Okay.
some people have genetics, and
Yeah.
they have that in their history. So if you have that, then they schedule it
Earlier.
earlier. But if
Okay.
not, is you after 40, 45, going down to 50, up and
Mm.
up. Mhm.
Wow. So I like the fact that you brought that up, because this colon guard thing, I heard about it. I'm like, okay, I didn't even know that there was something like that. Right. And a lot of people are still very afraid of the whole colonoscopy thing. And it's almost like you want to run away from it, but how long can you hide? Right. So you will definitely do it at a point. But if you're still not sure you want to do it, don't delay. Just do the colon guard in your own home. That at least you can do by yourself, and then work with your doctor, of course, to request, and then do it. At least get the process started, right? There's, I mean, really nothing to fear, Lorinda.
Mhm.
I feel like sometimes our fears are just a way that we use for excuse and not
We
to,
hide behind it.
you know. But there's really nothing to fear if we can just do what we have to do. We can just trust the process that, this is what we know, this is what we've done, and then leave the rest for those who can help us to help us, right? So
Yes.
I think that is important. There's help. There's help. So don't wait until you are completely, beyond help. And then that's where you actually are now okay getting help. There's another area that I want to go. So we're talking, choices, and it's looking, I mean, we've looked at the food that we're eating and exercising a little bit. We've talked about that, and just preventatives. But there's another big piece that you do on a daily basis with your work in the mental health area, right? And
Mhm.
for a lot of us, that is a big thing, you know. There's so much going on in our world, in our own lives. We feel it, we know it. Sometimes it's impacting our health. We can see that we are really not breathing in a way. We are going on, but it's hard to breathe. I mean, a friend of mine just came from a wellness retreat, and she said she did 3 nights and 4 days. And she said, even though she was in this secluded place, beautiful, everything, it was on the fourth day that she was leaving that she actually felt like, the whole thing is now settling in. And I was telling her, I said, if it took you 4 days or so to feel that way, then I don't know how long it would take me. You know?
Yes.
But like mental health is something that we just don't put any effort in. We don't think about it. We don't think it's important. We relegate it somewhere and we put it somewhere. Because think about it, like colonoscopy is huge on our list, right? And then, doing our pap smear and all that is also big on our list. But now here we are with mental health. And it's like, yeah, what do I have to do with that? I'm fine. I'm fine. How do we take care of our mental health? And when is it okay, especially for a lot of us who are Christians, to raise our hands and say that, you know what, I need help? Or I even need to take a break. I need to take a break from a lot of this. Come here, go here, do this. Just take a break. I'm done.
Yes. Um, taking care of our mental health, or it's really important, because it's what with it's true that other things takes care of us, but if you cannot think right, if your thinking is not sound, then you are not a whole person. So it's important that whatever we are doing, we should just remind ourselves that we need to take a break. We need to just rest. We need to. We don't have to do everything all at once,
Mm,
because if you keep going, your body is not a machine. So if you keep going and going and going without a break, you're going to break down.
mhm,
So we need to ask help. help from our family members. As if you know that you really need it, make a call. I mean, we have a lot of centers that helps, and then we have my workplace, for instance. My workplace is a hospital that takes care of acute mental health patients. So maybe if it's not when you are tired, you call there, no. But yeah, you ought to know yourself. When you are tired, you need to get a break, sit down, let go of everything, and rest. But that's why we ought to help each other. So that's why we have church. Our churches, local churches, is a good place to start. Yourself, your friends, among your friends, is a good place to start, and on and on and on. So I mean, you get to a place where you need to see us.
Yeah. So Lorenda, let me ask you: do you see a lot of minorities? Let me put it that way. At this facility that you are in, is it real? I mean, do people get there to that place of completely going off?
Yes, people get there, and I see minority, but about 95% are white skinned people, but I see my minorities, but sometimes minorities, but by the time they get there, it's really worse. It's worse. So that mental health also, the earlier you seek help, the better, because you can maintain it rather than trying to but mental health, what they do when they come here is ask to find a way to manage the symptoms, because sometimes it's there, they didn't seek help early enough, so it's the person it's beyond, so all they do is take care of the symptoms so that you can be able to be productive to yourself and also productive in your community. But it's really important they seek help early, and then come. And I do also see our people, like people from Africa, come there. Mainly, I see a certain group, a certain country a lot. I think it's because of the war and stuff. Yeah, so they also come, and also they neglect taking care of themselves. And mental health, when it's starting, people seem to deny that is what it is. But if you see it, you seek help. Yes.
Yeah. And I like the fact that you said we have to be each other's keeper, right? And just watching out for each other, knowing when, this is not your typical self. This is not how Lorenda typically behaves and talks and acts, right? And just being able to have that, as a way to also check each other and keep an eye on each other. I think that is important. And there's really nothing wrong with saying that I am not okay. Right?
Yeah. You tell them I'm not okay. Like, for instance, if some of the things to watch out for, if like Lorenda, I like to go to church, I like to sing, I like to, just call LP and talk about things, and all of a sudden I don't enjoy doing those things. All of a sudden I just want to sleep, and I don't want to. I've withdrawn from people, withdrawn from what I love to do, suspicious, accusing people, getting angry all the time, or depressed, like you don't want to even see a daylight. That's the time to seek for help, to see that this person is not like he or she used to be, and what's wrong. So that's when you start following up and investigating what's going on, because we like to hear those things when they come. What did you like to do before, or what happened? and how was the person behaving. We take all those things into account.
I see. I see. Well, we don't have to wait. We don't have to, you know, neglect taking care of ourselves. Like Rosemary is saying, early treatment is important, making sure that we are, treating things early as we see them and then working with them, with ourselves. You know yourself. I mean, one thing that we said last week is, health is personal. And even for healthcare providers, they also get sick. They also have issues. They also have things that come to them, right? So health is personal. We are all impacted health wise in everything that we are doing. And it's up to us to really own that process and take care of ourselves because no one is going to do it for you. You will have to do it yourself because you are going to end up buying the foods. You're going to end up making the choice. Should I buy, a Burger King versus buy some fruits and vegetables? You're going to have that trade-off every day, right? And it's in the little things that we do every day that makes it a habit. And that really produces the end result. So you see, our book for this month is Tiny Habits. And for a lot of us, we haven't really looked at that book. But if you haven't, I want to just a few minutes before we wrap up, just show you a few things that we have going on here. This month, we are reading this book called Tiny Habits, and you want to read it. It's like the book that we read last year called Atomic Habits. It's a small habits that we put together that makes a big habit. So think about it. For instance, if you want to, be a bit more active, you say that anytime I use the bathroom, I'm going to do 2 squats. Right? I'm going to just squat 2 times or 3 times. We know you're going to use the bathroom. You know you always look in the mirror when you finish using the bathroom. So do your squats then. So now you're combining a normal habit with another habit, and you're now growing yourself to be more disciplined about doing some, intentional exercising. So read this book, Tiny Habits. If you haven't joined the 5K walk, we are wrapping it up and in a few days. I want you to sign up. I want you to go out there and walk. I know it's very hot now. And we have a good reason, even in the summer, to say, no, we are not going out there. We are not walking. But I want you to do that. I want you to go out there and walk. Just walk. Or you can even be on your own treadmill in the house and walk or do some activity. But make sure that your heart is pumping well, it's doing well, and you're not having palpitations. And when you climb up the stairs, you're trying to hold your breath, right, Lorinda?
Yes, you're like, oh.
Yeah, you're like, yeah, and it's just a few flight of stairs, right? So that tells you that you need a little bit more activity. So let's do that because again, it's a habit. When we form it, I don't know about you, but I've seen people in my neighborhood, cold, rain, anything, they get up and they walk. And I'm like,
And then you do it in your head.
I do it in my head. I'm like, okay, I have to be better at this, right? But at least that is something they formed a habit about. So we want to form habits that really help us to be successful. Okay, so 5K, join the 5K. If you haven't signed up also for the upcoming webinar that we have on Crucial Conversations, it's coming on the end of September through early October. This is a good, webinar for you because you get to come and learn, how do I communicate? Why is it that sometimes I talk at work and people feel like I'm this angry person, but you're not? Maybe you just have to learn how to say things, how to work through things so you can communicate your message and not your feelings, because sometimes our feelings overshadow our message. Right. So join the Crucial Conversation and be part of it. And I believe that you learn something amazing. We are still offering the Google certificates. So if you're interested, please go online and sign up for a certificate and then take the course. Okay. All right. So here we are wrapping up at the top of the hour. And Lorinda has been gracious enough coming from a night shift, joining us today, sharing about her own experience. She's been in Lexington for a bit, but for a while. Yeah. And she looks 16 or 25, right?
I wish.
She's over 40, right? She's over 40 and she's over 50. Yeah. So that alone tells you that, being even doing the night shift and still maintaining your healthy lifestyle is possible. Okay. Yeah,
It's
it's possible. And it's a challenge. It's not easy. Like she said, she's had her own, different things. And even recently with her, being on the borderline of diabetes, she's had to do other things differently. We don't have to wait till we are now termed diabetic. And then now it's like, oh, they say you shouldn't eat sugar. So now you cannot eat sugar. Why don't we do the moderation like she was talking about? Moderate, be in moderation, like a balanced thing. All right. Okay. I see you can do it. I am cheering you on to do it. I am taking on the thing because this month I was doing the moderation on the sugar. So I am
Yes.
with you.
Mhm.
I'm with you. So don't feel like you're losing out and you're not doing great. You're doing awesome and you're doing your best. I just believe that you can do a little bit more. So work on it, keep working on it, and don't give up. Okay.
Mhm.
Melinda, your last thoughts or your few thoughts as we part today, as we close. What are some of the things that we can just take from this conversation, start working on, and get better in just making healthy choices every day?
Okay. Like you said, we should walk more. We should keep doing. We should make good choices when it comes to our food, balanced meals, and just for help if ask for help if you need it. And one thing I also wanted to mention is some people would say, "Oh, I just came to whatever city that you are in, that you don't have a doctor, you don't have insurance, you don't have whatnot." A good place to start is your health department. When I first came here, I didn't have those things, but the health department they took good care of me. Even when I had my son, I was pregnant before I got here. They took care of me. Baby wellness and me myself. um, they gave us immunizations and all those things. So if you don't, even when you are sick, healthcare health department they give you acute care so that you don't have to stay home and battle it on yourself.
So
So
you mean by health department, are you talking about the community health centers?
yes, a health department itself, they take care of people. They have doctors and they have
Mm,
hospitals. Yeah, clinics. I would say clinics. Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah, just
amazing.
get on Google and search your local health department and get a bath and go there. They'll take care of you.
Amazing. Awesome. You see, that's something that we learned right off the bat just today, because you're at home. You're not feeling too good, but you're saying that I don't have the money. I don't want to go and
Right.
spend the money and all that. Well,
Mhm.
we want you to go out there, search your health department, call someone, visit that place, and get the help that you need, because we want you to be healthy and
Mhm.
to live a healthy life. Well,
Yeah.
all too soon. We are wrapping up. Thank you so much, Lavenda, Rosemary. I see you, Gloria, and Adelaide, and everyone who joined. I pray that we can apply the nuggets that we've learned today and continue on our healthy journey, not only for this month, but all through the year and beyond. I'll see the healthy you the next time we talk. All right. Have a
Yes.
wonderful afternoon.
Thank
Bye.
you. You too. Bye.